Everybody likes pancakes.
Everybody likes pancakes.
All right, everybody. It's Tyler Webster, Western Wing Shooter Podcast, Wes Larrabee and George McNamara from the Prairie Tales Podcast, and of course, the bearded Uplander, Tim Brown, down there in Iowa. This is going to be the first episode of what used to be called the plus size models, what we're now calling Upland Heavyweights. Yep. I like that name better.
I do too.
A little bit more on the nose.
Yep.
So Tim's been out doing some turkey hunting. I've been doing a little bit of turkey hunting. George has been doing a buttload of construction work. And I mean, you can tell, just like look at his eyes are heavy and his mustache is all wired out.
Yeah. It's full of sawdust.
And we're not sure what Wes has been doing, but nothing real constructive other than apparently training his dog a little bit.
He was humping rebar for me today.
Yeah, I was busting rebar.
I was
carrying 2x10s.
You shouldn't say humping rebar.
I was gonna say, hold on a minute. I didn't know you had people up there named Rebar.
Holy, humping rebar maybe. Anyways, now that we're already 1 minute into this and we're got our minds in the gutters.
Yep.
How's it going, Timmy? We haven't done a podcast since Pheasant Fest, so what's
I know
new?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Not much. Spring has sprung down here. That's for sure. It's been really busy. A lot of stuff going. There's corn going in the ground right now. I know that. So
they're starting to plant crops here already.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Friday we were down in the Badlands scouting. 84 degrees.
Yep.
The day before turkey opener, and I think on turkey opener, I believe that it was like 72 or something like that.
And Sunday we had a mini blizzard.
Yeah, didn't last very long.
Welcome to North Dakota. Welcome to North Dakota.
We got an inch of snow at 4 p.m. and it was gone before dark.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think our ground temp's like right around 52, 53 right now. So we're not far away from morel mushrooms either. So
yeah,
I'm ready for that.
That's true.
Do you get those up here in North Dakota?
Yes, you do down in the Missouri River bottoms
on the breaks down
there.
Yeah. I know you guys talk about it a lot, but I've never gone out and harvested any of those.
There's nothing better than rock grouse and morel mushrooms. That is a meal fit for a king right there.
If you throw in some walleye fillets, then you're that's the top of the top right there.
But see, you guys are even in the wrong season. It's turkey breast and morels.
Sure, fine. I concede that point.
They don't call
turkey
us
schnitzel.
Yeah,
pretty good.
They don't call us heavyweights for nothing, Wes.
No kidding.
You name it, and put morels with it. We're gonna eat it.
Can you put gravy on it?
You can, you can put morels in gravy. You can put gravy on gravy. You can whatever you want to do.
I know some people that put it on pizza. That put morels on pizza, and it's not.
Ooh, I bet that's
terrible.
Good.
It's not terrible.
I bet not. I bet not. We had a pretty good meal tonight, though. We had whitetail, tenderloin, and backstrap, and George made some potatoes out on the Blackstone grill, and we had some squash, and it was good.
Good Lord, look at
dude,
you
it was nice.
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah, it was nice. That and it was a buck that I shot, which Wes correctly, even though it hurt me a little bit, said it was a good meat buck.
No, it was so tender, man.
It was really good.
You just bite into it and it just like flaked off. It was so good.
It was a little fork horn, was it?
No. He was a little 4x4. Just no, he was not. You son of a bitch.
You know those jackalope you see at Walmart?
Yeah,
it's about that size.
Oh,
come on now.
Oh no!
Now I got to find pictures of this.
There's
giant.
no pictures of it either. So,
there it is.
That ain't a bad deer.
It ain't that bad.
No, it wasn't. It was like a 2.5-year-old deer.
Oh, yeah.
But a good eater. I mean, he was big bodied.
Yeah, I'd have shot his son.
Yeah, he wasn't bad, and he never heard the shot that killed him. Because it was very well discussed as to how my what was it, Bell's palsy or something like that? Parkinson's was kicking in when we were trying to sight the rifles in, but apparently we did a decent enough job because I dropped him in his tracks at 350 yards, and I didn't even know if I hit him, to be real honest with you, because the recoil of the rifle went up, bam. And I come back down, and I couldn't see him standing there anymore. And I'm looking around, and I got my scope all zoomed in. And Matt comes walking up. Our buddy Matt Schmidt comes walking up, and he's like, "Did you get it?" And I was like, "No,
I don't know.
He's like, well, how'd you feel about it? I was like, dude, the way that I've been shooting all fall with a rifle, I doubt it. Walked up there and I was like, well, let's look for blood and hair. And Matt's like, well, or we could just pick him up. He's laying right here. Like, all right.
Yeah, that'll
So-
work.
so you want
that'll
it.
work.
It
But
tastes good.
exactly.
Let's put it that way.
It tastes good. We've been eating, we've been having deer sausage at least a couple days a week.
Now that stuff is good,
And jalapeno cheddar deer
especially
sausage.
for breakfast with scrambled eggs. Oh,
Dude,
man.
I had a
I
buddy.
make pretty good omelets. I make pretty
Yeah.
good omelets, and you get a good cheese omelet and some deer sausage, and we're in
Oh
business.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I've been.
I had a buddy drop off some jerky that he made out of snow geese this spring, and I'm gonna tell you what, I would
Pretty
eat it
good, isn't
every single
Not bad.
time. I would. You can't tell. There's
No,
no way you can
jerky's
tell.
jerky.
It was fantastic.
Yeah,
And don't let them fool you. Grind that stuff up, put a little beef fat in with it, and it makes great hamburger too.
Oh, I'm
Sure.
sure it does.
yeah. The other thing that you can do, and that I have done when I've shot a bunch of snow geese, is I've made that corn goose breast that Hank Shaw makes.
Sure.
It's friggin' pastrami. You run it
Yeah.
through. You put it in that salt with all that water with all that salt in there. I think you leave it 7 days. And then
I
you
do
smoke
mine
it?
3 and then pull them out, wash them off, and
Right.
then smoke them.
I think it's supposed to be 7 days because it's supposed to be pink all the way through.
Because see, there's different recipes
Sure.
depending on what you use. If you use the pink salt, it works better.
Boy, this
Little
is a
bit faster.
really appropriate subject line for the first heavyweights podcast.
Yes, it
Upland
is.
Heavyweights
Yes, it is.
podcast. 'Cause,
I have-
like we're just
Well,
talking
let me tell you,
food
because
now.
if you have somebody that does not like goose and you make that pastrami and make just
It's-
like a Reuben sandwich,
yeah,
Sure.
they will
They aren't
ask
gonna
beg
tell.
for more.
I got
love it.
a meat slicer out there in the garage from
It is
Walton's,
so
and you
damn
can just
good.
run that through there, and it's that thick,
Sure.
and it just falls. It's just the perfect
Yeah.
lunch meat. It's great
Yeah.
lunch meat.
Perfect. Perfect.
When I shoot all my Canadas down in Nebraska, we do that, and then I, brine them, smoke them, slice them, and then I break them down into like single packages, and then back seal them
Yep.
into
Yep.
single little packages. Throw that in the freezer, pull it out, let it thaw out, make your sandwich. Oh, it's freaking delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I left here last fall, I had to go back to New Hampshire via Florida.
Right. Because
And,
it's on the way.
It is right on the way.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take all my birds with me because they were froze, and it's going to be 5 or 6 days. So since I've been back here for 2 weeks, every night
It's all he's been eating.
That's all he eats.
I've been eating my birds, huns, sharptails, ducks, pheasant. It's great. I'm in my little camper frying them up.
You know what?
Yep.
And he never asked us to come over.
I got an
I
invite.
break
I got
break
an
out
invite.
I
Son
break
of
out
a
the whitetail tenderloins and backstraps
Yeah.
for this guy, and I make him
Yep.
sausage every other day.
Yep.
And
Just
never a word when he's cooking up mallard breasts.
But I was just saying
Oh,
yesterday.
I got a sharp tail breast the other day, and mine was so old I had to freaking gnaw off it for an hour.
I gave a young one and an old one.
and he
It was
and
good. It was
he
good.
never invited anybody over when he had the crane. He never
No.
invited anybody
No,
over.
that's-
for that.
we haven't done that yet.
We
Oh,
actually
it's
got to
coming.
take some out of the freezer. We have a few breasts here. It's gonna be good.
Mhm.
Oh,
Get-
Yep.
The old charcoal grill going.
If you say so,
That's the way to go.
I disagree. I want it to be consistent. I want it to be fast, and I certainly don't want to wait for coals. I want it fast, and I want it now.
I'll give you the green
Yeah.
light when they're ready. It takes about 5 minutes.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And he's
Oh,
got one
yeah.
of these cool ass actual grills over there that you actually put charcoal in, not briquettes, actual
actual
charcoal.
chunks of charcoal. Ooh.
Yeah.
Wood charcoal,
wood
yes.
charcoal
And it's
Hell
got a
yeah.
little propane bottle that has a fire
that
that
starts
shoots into it for the first 4 or 5 minutes, and
Sure.
you
pretty
open
neat.
you open the vents up, and man, you got some serious heat there. It's
Yeah.
incredible, and it gives a nice flavor.
Okay. Well, try it.
I like
Yeah,
wood
try it.
flavored.
But I
I-
mean, one of the reasons that I like springtime so much, though, is because turkey schnitzel is really hard to beat as far as
Oh.
food. Like dude, I love turkey schnitzel.
I like it, but I like mine in a pot pie. I
Uh,
like to make one
Ain't
lobe
nothing
into
wrong with that.
schnitzel, and then the other lobe gets into make
Well,
like
but-
them little individual pot pies.
That's legal
Sure.
in a lot of states now, Wes. So you're all covered.
Not
Right.
that kind of pot
Oh,
pie.
I'm sorry.
Actual
That's
like
a brownie. That's the brownies. That's dessert.
That's dessert, exactly. Oh my god.
I love taking half of it and smoking it on my smoker.
Really?
See, now
And
it's
then
always
slice
so
it.
dry to me.
No, then slice it like a brisket. It is fantastic.
Really?
How do you keep it
Yeah.
moist?
Really low, but I soak it
You
for
brine in it?
oh yeah, a couple days.
Mm.
and let it get real
Might have to
soft.
try that.
Let it get real soft, and then you put your stuff on the outside, and it pretty much crusts that around it. My barbecue seasoning that I put on it.
Yeah.
It pretty much makes a crust on it because it's got some brown sugar in it and a couple other things that gets a good crust on it. Yep, gets a good crust on it, and then it holds it all in. Now leftovers, I mean, if you slice it thin enough, it makes pretty good sandwiches, but it can dry out if you keep like microwaving it. You know what I mean? But that's the thing.
That was a pretty nice face you're making there that you froze in.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was a good one.
Looks like I got some blush on or something. I don't know what's going on.
You got a little sun there on your cheeks.
I did. It was busy this week at work, so I was outside a lot today.
Yeah.
I got a couple of videos here that I want to add into the podcast. Everybody makes fun of my turkey calling ability. I got a gobble with my mouth.
Yeah.
And
just your mouth. Okay. Let's hear it.
But we shot this turkey, or my buddy Mike, I called this turkey, and not with my mouth on the second day, but with an actual box call to about 15 yards. And Mike was able to lay the smack down on it. But I got a little video of it out the window of my pickup. It was a lot farther away than this the next day because Mike, God bless him, but he's not he's not a member of Mensa, we'll say, when it comes to turkeys. So we're kind of, we're looking at him through the binoculars that evening right after I got this done. We kept on down the road a little ways, and I was like, man, he might be there in the morning, and snuck up, and I got up there, and I'm just kind of glassing, looking and seeing if there was any other birds there is what I wanted to see, because it's right at the mouth of this big draw. Mike steps around me and up onto the hill and skylights himself, and that turkey's like, gone. And so the next morning we got down there and we could hear him gobbling, but he was way out on this big giant finger that runs out into the Badlands. But anyways, this is how good I can call turkeys with my mouth. Oh no.
Oh, hit up, pause it. Yep.
They're so dumb.
I mean, it is a Merriam, and they will gobble at just about anything.
Yeah.
And that turkey's saying to himself, watch this. I'm going to make that idiot whistle again.
Oh, my goodness.
You're on fire,
Oh,
George.
he is just on fire.
And I'd like to take this moment to talk about Gun Dog Grind.
Yeah.
It really wakes me up.
Yeah. But you'll like this too, Tim. And I'm sure you've seen the video that George went out and filmed some sharptails on a lek here right by the house.
Oh, my God. That
the
was
other
amazing.
day.
Amazing.
When we were down in the Badlands this weekend, we probably found 30 leks. And there was sharptails dancing on all of them.
Oh.
So here, check this out. Like they were just all over. Just kind of hanging out, doing sharptail things.
Oh, it's the coolest shit ever.
Yep, I got some other ones of them that were that they were actually dancing, but sadly on that one there was a dancer. But I was trying to film out the passenger window of the pickup, and it kept on focusing on the mirrors of the sharptail. The background wasn't in focus at all. But Sam Soholt's going to be up here next week, and he's bringing his new camera with his big giant lens, and we're going to get out and we're actually going to get some nice video of those things dancing.
Hell
so
yeah.
it's pretty sweet.
So that was my first
cool.
time witnessing it.
Oh, really?
And I had seen them 200, 250 yards off the road with my binoculars on the knoll they're on. So the next morning I got out there, which I thought would be early enough.
It was just right up here, right?
No, it was over
North
over
of
there.
Tom's.
Okay.
And I got out there. They were already out there, and I'm down in a little bit of a gully walking up, and I could hear this. Like, what the heck is going? What's going on? I was like, I get around and I peek my head up over, and they're just stomping their feet and blowing their gizzards and running and racing and jumping in the. That was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And then he has freaking a big ass flock of pintails trying to land with the freaking sharptails.
Did they really?
Yeah, I was sitting there at one point, and they kind of stopped, and I see a bunch of them looking, and so I look up, and there's 6 pintails, no more than 40 feet in the air, and they were just hovering against the wind, they were looking at him like, oh, those are buddies.
Those are weird looking ducks.
Those don't look like pintails to me.
Yeah, that was a cool experience. I was glad I got to get some of it on my phone. It was pretty cool.
If I had more time, I would drive the 3.5 hours to go over to Fort Pierre and look at the chickens. I would.
Yeah.
Like when I let my pup out every morning, I can stand out in the yard and I can hear him across the road doing the and then you hear the dancing.
So
this is
awesome.
I love that sound.
This is a picture of that turkey that that was in love with me on Friday. We got him on Saturday morning. And check out you got to check out this backdrop.
It's it's awesome.
So check this out. That's where we got him. The road was a half or probably 3/4 of a mile behind us, and we had to go through 2 of those big draws to get out there to him. And when we got out there, he was the boss. There was a couple other jakes around, and there was only 3 or 4 hens. And I don't know why he actually came in, because again, my calling's a little questionable. But like we snuck all the way around and got down underneath of him. And we got a plum thicket in between us and him. I told Mike, I was like, they were probably 80 yards away, 70 yards away maybe. And I told Mike, I was like, just right here, get your gun up. We're standing. We're not even kneeling or anything else. I was like, just be ready. And I just, and I think the reason that we ended up getting it was because there was a bossy hen there. And that hen's like, this is my man. And here she come. And then that Tom was right behind her, right on her tail, and came around that bush. And Mike just laid the hammer down on her with the Boss 12s, or on him, I guess. The hen's still fine, guaranteed.
Yeah.
But we're going to hike back out of there. And Mike's like, God, we got to find a nice spot to take a picture. And I was like, turn around.
Yeah, right. No shit.
And like, that was the backdrop where he shot that turkey. And I was like, you can't get any better than this. You absolutely can't get any better than that.
No. And that's the thing too. Like a lot of them Toms, if you get that boss hen to come in, you're sitting pretty well, aren't you, Wes?
Oh yeah.
You've got them pretty well hooked. Yo, yeah.
Piss you mimic her and get her pissed. She's coming. And
and she's gonna bring him with her. Yeah. Almost every single time.
Yeah. If you start calling and you hear a hen try to cut you off, you just cut her right back off and just keep cutting her off every time she tries to call. She's coming.
Yeah, and just get more aggressive and louder, and it's perfect.
Yeah, she's fun. They're fun.
Perfect. Okay, we didn't freeze, but
what's the number?
Oh shit, 18.
Okay.
Something.
18 something. For those of you out there that are going to watch this, and well, I guess now listen to it too. We're trying to take a pause because we're going to start adding some commercials in here in between some of these. And me and George are not the technical wizards that we might play on TV. So if we have a little pause there where we can cut that, it makes it just so much easier. Yes. Anyways, there's a little peek behind the curtain.
Yep.
So Tim, on Saturday you were out hunting as well. Not for you.
No, not for me. So I'm blessed to have one of my best friends, his kids. He's got 3 kids, a girl, she's the oldest, and then 2 boys. Morgan is a turkey killing machine, and she's 14 now. She started when she was 10. Yeah, I was 10 because she's killed 3, and last year she ate a tag. But so she started out, shot her Jake. So I've got a rule with me. You get 1 Jake. You can only shoot 1 Jake with me in all the spots that I have permission to hunt. You can shoot 1 Jake. It's fine. After that, it's Toms only, which it's just a fun little thing that I like because we get Jakes in all the time, and we just don't shoot them.
Well, they're next year's bird.
Yeah,
but they're still
you know what I mean?
I found out that they're not viable. A Jake is not viable.
No.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Just like a Jenny's not. Yeah.
Yeah. I did not know that, which was kind of interesting. But I can see when you have a whole bunch of Jakes, it probably would be a good idea to maybe thin a few out just because your hens aren't probably going to get, if you don't have many Toms around, your hens probably aren't going to get bred.
I'll lay the smackdown on a. I'll put the Jake brakes on one and all.
So anyway, she's killed her birds. And Brody, her little brother, has killed his birds, and now Reed, who is, I think he's 7 or 8. It's his turn to his first year of going. So we go out to my honey hole, and it is a honey hole. You're gonna get a shot at a bird in that field, no doubt. So we're sitting there, the end of the draw, and they're gobbling like crazy. And there's in front of us where the decoys are, there's 6 toms that come out, and they're all strutting. They got about 10 hens with them, and they're coming, and then all of a sudden, some other toms are coming over this way over the hill.
Oh, really?
So then we got a battle royale going over there. And then from this side, a couple more toms come over the hill, and then they all just converge and just are in one big group. And they're, I don't know, 75, 80 yards away. So I'm calling to the hens, and they're, the boss hen's doing the same thing, that she's wanting to come over closer. And she brings that tom, the big tom, just close enough that he's like, okay, you're too close to my girls. I'm going to go kick your ass. And he came over and laid the wallop down on him at 8 yards. And the funny thing is, I got my GoPro set up by the decoy, and it comes in, and the video that you're going to play here in a minute, it just wrecked him. I mean, that bird didn't move. That bird didn't move for 2 minutes, and then finally started flopping. And I'm like, okay, Brody, get ready, because if they come back, if a tom comes over, starts kicking the crap out of that one, you and your brother can double up,
Yeah.
But it didn't happen.
You know what? I messed up. There was another. Not quite. I got 3 turkey tags, and my plan was I was going to fill one of them this last weekend, and we knew that Sunday was going to be crap. We ended up getting a bunch of wind and rain and snow, like these guys said. We had a little half a blizzard here for about 20 minutes at the farm, and if I would have brought a shotgun with, I would have killed a tom, because there was another tom that came over and started whooping up on Mike's turkey after he shot it. And Mike was so excited. I was like, give me the goddamn gun. Just give it to me. There's another bullet in there. There's another shell in there. That thing's only 15 yards away. He's
right.
Dead. And Mike's got the gun open. He was shooting my CZ Reaper. And I don't know why I didn't grab a gun out of the truck. I didn't grab my GoPro out of the truck. I didn't get anything. Like it was terrible. It was the worst. But here's that video of what's his name?
Reed.
If you're listening to this, or if you ever listen to this, congratulations. This is a pretty cool little video you got here.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That hen went straight up at about like 50 yards. I swear she went straight up and got the hell out of Dodge.
That's just too good.
Yeah.
How close was that hen to your guys' blind?
That hen, she's only 5 or 6 yards away.
Yeah.
Big old rope dragger too.
Yeah, 11-inch beard on him.
That's nice turkey.
Inch spur, 23.5 pounds.
Oh. Good for him.
Yep. Oh yeah, and then he looks over at his brother, and he's like, I thought you said this was hard. I'm like, dude, you little son of a bitch.
Look at the size of that thing.
That's a heck of a turkey, man.
It's a good turkey.
Tell me you made him carry it out.
Oh yeah, I should have sent you that video. Is the video he goes to throw that thing over his shoulder, and he about goes ass over tea kettle.
About pulled him over backwards.
I pulled him over backwards. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Comical. I'll actually post that to my Instagram or something one of these days and have it on there. So
yeah,
it was good. It was a good day. And then Sunday we went out, and I worked a tom for Brody, and I worked him. But the Jake, he was probably a 2-year-old. I mean, he wasn't a very big tom, so I assumed he was a Jake last year. He just did not want anything to do with any male turkey of any kind. He just would not get close enough. And then he went off.
You're using a Jake decoy. Yeah.
Yep.
See, I think sometimes it's just a tom that's got his ass whipped, and you don't want nothing 100%. About. He just don't want nothing to do with any of them for a while.
He's one of those low testosterone.
Yeah, he's a subdominant tom.
Yeah. He's definitely. You could tell just by when he come over and he cleared the hill. You could see him look at that decoy, and he went out of strut, and he just kind of, just kept his distance. Like, I've been there before, got my ass kicked.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Sometimes
that's when you need the strutting 360, turn him around.
Yeah.
Face that ass into that strutter at him that shows subdominance, and that he'll come right in.
Yep. But it's one of them 3/4. It's not even a 3/4 strut. It's just a Jake that's puffed up.
This is a
little
posturing,
bit.
yeah,
Posturing and Jake, it happens. I mean, there's a lot of turkeys there, so it's
can't kill them all.
And that kid's been through the ringer. He's missed birds. He's got his ass kicked, and he knows the deal. He's been through it all. So, but they're good kids.
Killed one every time, it wouldn't be as fun.
No, and the thing is, and my buddy Justin, well, Mark's son, his daughter went out and she killed an absolute slob of a bird on Sunday. That one was 27 pounds and a 12-inch pair and an inch spur. I mean, he was giant. He was a giant turkey.
That's crazy.
And that was her first bird. So like all these kids that we take out, they just really, I got my ass kicked for, a few weeks before I killed one with my dad.
Yeah.
And these kids, I mean, we take them out and it's just money. Like, yeah. It's like they're almost tied up,
Well, I mean? we were talking about that. So I went down to Watford City on Thursday and stayed overnight. We went scouting all day on Friday, and Mike, well, a little bit, but not that much.
You missed it. I said he stayed overnight.
Not that much, but a little bit. An appropriate amount. We were in bed early on Thursday night and Friday night, actually, and I didn't even go to the wild turkey banquet. And
I thought you guys were going to.
Nate went by himself. We didn't spot enough toms, and so I'm curious, Tim, if you see this too. But for some reason, there's more toms strutting in the evening here than in the morning, by a pretty big margin.
I'll tell you what it is.
What?
They're coming off the roost and they're breeding hens.
Well, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, but so on Friday when we went out early, we left Nate's house at 5:30. Sunrise was 7 o'clock, 10 after 7, something like that. And we drove 160 miles, something like that. And we seen 3 toms. That's it.
Wow.
And so I told when Mike, he farms for my uncle, and they were hauling some grain. And so he didn't get a chance to leave mine. He didn't get down there till 3 o'clock. And I told him when he got there, I was like, dude, if you're all right with skipping the NWTF banquet in Watford, I said, I think we should go and cruise. And in 3 hours of driving, I think we've seen about 60 turkeys, and including that one that he ended up shooting on Saturday morning. So we skipped the banquet.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you about that.
Yeah, it's more likely they're coming off the roost. They're roosting right with the hens. They're not having to even call to hens, so they're gathering them real quick and they're breeding, and then following the hens wherever the hens are going the rest of the day.
That's a very likely scenario, because that is what it seemed like.
Yep.
But so last year was the first year that Mike ever turkey hunted, and he shot 2 turkeys on opening morning by 9:15. And we let it pretty good,
that'll work.
Yeah, not bad. I'd killed one 10 minutes after shooting time, and Nate killed one about 40 minutes after shooting time, and Mike had 2 on the ground by 9:30. And I was joking with him. I was like, dude, I wouldn't expect that. Like, that's not going to happen again.
No.
I think shooting time this year was 6:45, and he shot that bird at 7:03. I was like, how does this happen every time for you?
Yeah.
Turkey wizard.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't do anything. He pulls a trigger. That's all he does.
Some people got to be trigger pullers.
Right.
That's right. We are during bird season, I guess. We're just trigger pullers.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother-in-law is the same way. Like down where my brother lives, Southern Iowa, it's, we had one pegged and we knew exactly where it was flying down, and he was big. And we're like, okay, we're going to get in there early, set the blind up, have the decoys out there, and that thing literally flew off the roost. This was before I had a camera. Flew off the roost, and as he's coming down, he just like bulldogs my strutter decoy.
No
kidding.
He
just kicked it over. I mean, it was maybe like 3 minutes after shooting time. He's like, what's so hard about this? I'm like,
exactly.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
That's what Mike said too.
You
he
son
said
of a
that
bitch.
exact same thing. I was like, dude, last year, so I killed 1 turkey and I had 2 tags left. I hunted the next 14 days to kill 2 more turkeys.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't know what it is, but Mike shot 3 turkeys in his life, and he's hunted a total of about 3 hours. I was like, it ain't like this, dude. Like, I don't know what kind of horseshoe you got shoved up where, but it's not good.
We'll see how lucky
for you.
Let's see how lucky you are. Let's go down to like Mississippi and we'll see what we can do down there.
We talked about
take him to Arkansas.
Arkansas.
No
there ain't no fucking turkeys down there.
Yeah. We talked to him about that. I was like, dude, next year I ain't scouting for you. You go and you take your truck and you go out and do your thing. I was like, I'm killing a turkey opening morning next year. Damn it.
Yeah. I'm the same way though. I would, Wes, you're the same boat. We've killed so many turkeys that it's almost like I would rather watch somebody shoot one first.
It is so freaking fun watching something.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm headed to Southern Missouri next weekend, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
You're going to Southern Missouri, you say?
Yeah, Southern Missouri. Yep, I'm gonna go down, almost down to the Boot Hill. I used to go down there quite a bit.
I want to talk Tyler into going to Michigan next spring.
That'd be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah,
you don't have to talk to me into anything. I'll go out there,
twist his arm.
I'll go out there, and after we shoot turkeys, we can go fish steelhead. I am absolutely in for that.
That or go to Maine into May, beginning of June.
Zero desire to do that.
Go where?
Then you can eat lobsters.
I don't give a shit. I can eat lobsters here.
Yeah, but they're over there right out of the ocean.
They're not any good in May.
That's over there. That's over there.
That's
over there by New Hampshire. I mean, what good has come out of New Hampshire?
Well, it sure ain't this guy.
Not much.
That plaid shirt. That plaid shirt came out of New Hampshire, and that plaid shirt's
that mustache. That mustache.
Turkey hunting is. I did it for a few years, and you can shoot them. They got plenty of turkeys in New Hampshire, but the problem is the Fish and Game. They don't start the season until I think, let's say the 7th, 8th, 9th of May.
Yeah, it's a late.
Well, by that
Vermont
time,
and Maine are all
the leaves are on, the ticks are out, the bugs are out, and there's other things to do that time of year. If they would start at like this part of the country, early to mid-April, I would have been all in because that's the time of year you're still looking for something to do.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice. I mean, it certainly gets us out in the spring, which is what I like about it the most.
100%.
I haven't found any ticks on me yet, which is a little concerning.
I had one.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I had one.
Sitting there relaxing in my lawn chair looking at the sunset. Yeah. And I looked down, there's one crawling across my legs.
Was that?
It's probably freaking one of them.
It's not a mole, it's a tick.
Yeah.
you don't want the ones from New Hampshire, boy. We got those are bad ones.
You better not be importing any of those things up here.
No. Don't let that sucker crawl up your bag. You don't want them on your bag.
No, you do not.
That's a no.
Nate found quite a few on him.
The other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But me and Mike,
that country down there gets loaded with them down along the river there.
Yeah, me and Mike didn't find any, but
permethrin. Yeah, that shit works, man.
Yep. Permethrin's where it's
I use whatever the shit is they use to spray horses with. I douse my clothes in it, and I hardly ever have any. When I go morel mushroom hunting, I hardly have ever any ticks on me.
That permethrin, you spray it on there, and then just let it dry. Then spray it on again, let it dry.
Yep.
You can wash your clothes like 6-8 times, and it doesn't out. And I never have any ticks on me ever anymore after I started using that stuff.
I'll tell you, just some simple bug spray makes all the difference in the world. Just spray your pant legs, a little bit of bug spray, because when I'm training my dogs back in New England,
your boots in or wear a pair of gaiters.
Well, training the dogs back in New England, you're walking in grass that's up to your knees sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're all over the grass. But if you just put a little bit of that on your pant legs, it seems to work pretty good. And spray the dog's belly. It helps too.
This stuff right here, man. That stuff is the
Repel-X?
The Repel-X.
Interesting.
That's like a farming home. I douse my boots. I douse my clothes. And actually, that's another hack for like Wisconsin. We go up there grouse hunting. We'll spray the back of the dogs with it. And it just keeps the ones that, it just keeps them off of them.
You can put permethrin on a dog, but you cannot put it on a cat.
Really?
It says it right on the bottle.
Sure,
safe for use on dogs.
Yeah, I could
do
care
not
less
put
if
on cat.
I could care less if a cat dies.
Do not put on
gets cancer. Yeah, not concerned about feline cancer. Not one bit.
No, don't care about them ditch tigers. Not one bit.
Nope.
So I've been. I'll tell you what, it's cool. This is my first spring out here, and every year I've been leaving. The end of October. It's so cool right now because we got the reverse migration coming up through.
Oh yeah,
and no one's hunting them, no one's scaring them, and the amount of cranes that we have flying overhead are insane.
Lots of them right over top the farm all day. Yep. And
George got me all excited the other day. Comes back in from running his center. He's like, man, you need to go down there and find all them snow geese. Went down there. They were seagulls.
I was going by sound alone. They were down there screaming.
Because it's a real similar sound, snow geese and seagulls,
Well, that's what they call them in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
That's what they call them. All them damn snow geese out there.
Dump ducks or snow geese.
Yeah,
now.
look at all of them chickens.
In George's defense, the first day that he got here, we took a drive into town, and he said, this is going to be such a good thing for me. I'm going to get to work on my bird identification. And we're driving down a road, and it's like, oh, what are those? What are those? I was like, well, those are honkers. Those are Canada geese, and everything else. So, but to his credit, he's working on his bird identification, and snow geese and seagulls are the same color, but they, taste different.
And they don't see that good.
He's like, they're squawking everywhere down there. And so I drive down there, sure as shit. I'm like, I even asked him before I left, you sure that weren't seagulls?
Oh. I didn't look. I could just hear them.
Oh,
Tim,
my God.
We had ourselves a gopher killing the other day.
No way. In the yard?
A killing.
Well, we started in the yard.
But then we just got bloodthirsty. Yep. We went through a lot of 17 HMR ammo. We went through a lot of 223 ammo.
Pocket gophers?
Flicker tails.
Well, they're
mini prairie dog.
Mini prairie dogs. Same thing. They stand about that tall. Brown little bastards.
Yep.
Me and George took a drive over to I don't have a pin on this spot, but if I need to go kill gophers, this is my spot.
Wow.
We
had hundreds of them.
We had a charge where there was like 3 or 4 of them running at us, and I was like, "Give me the gun!" Oh my gosh, I don't know how many
shooting running gophers.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I don't know how many gophers we killed, but we ran out of bullets before we came home.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I can remember my dad telling me that the old farmers around where he grew up would give like a nickel a piece for each one that he brought back.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we used to get a dime per tail. Yeah. We just have to bring back the tail. And that became real handy because that's when we realized that we could start shooting them a little bit bigger caliber gun. 22s are fine, but those 17s will rip them up a little bit.
Oh yeah, disintegrate
pop them pretty good.
We started right here on the north side of the barn. George had them pull all the highline poles, over on the east side of the barn. We have them pile. So it was like a deer blind over there. Me and Tyler just sniping them right off the top of that.
Hell yeah.
George has got binoculars. 10 o'clock.
He was our spotter.
You fuckers up there just living your best life right now. God damn.
Yeah. Then we fetched them all up and grilled them up. Man, were they good.
We made chili.
So
Tyler, chili.
So there was one shot at the end of the driveway, which was about, I don't know, say 75 to 100 yards off to the west. So Tyler and I went for a ride. We come back, and I said to him, let's see if that one's still at the end of the driveway. Just then, a big hawk lifts off the end of the driveway with it in its claws, and I heads out across the prairie.
Was it that bluish colored one?
Yeah, it was that goshawk.
Because the other day when I was shooting them right across the road again, I just get done shooting about that time. He's sitting over there right on top looking for him.
Yep.
Yeah. Just like when you're crane hunting and a coyote will come in and get your crane to shoot.
I had a buddy today shot a turkey, and where his turkey
grab it?
No, where his turkey ran over the hill too. Coyote come back and he had a feather hanging out of his mouth. So he's like, I think my turkey got ate a little bit.
Oh no.
I'm like, why the hell didn't you get up and go get the bird? And he's like, well, I got another tag.
Yeah, you need to force fetch those coyotes. Get them to bring them back. If they're gonna go and do that, they can at least run back with it towards the tree line for you.
Yeah, you could at least shoot the damn coyote too, I guess.
Yep. I mean, those turkey shells will do it. Let me tell you.
And he had a bow. He was shooting with his bow, so you can see. So in Iowa, it's really weird because it's not weird. I mean, I think that Iowa actually does it right. So if you want a gun tag, you got to pick first, second, or third season is one tag. Then your second tag can be fourth season. So first season is from Monday to Thursday. Second season's from Saturday or Friday till Wednesday. And then third season's Wednesday to Wednesday. And then fourth season's like 3 weekends. But if you get a bow tag, you get it all. You get all seasons, all 4 seasons. You can shoot it with a bow.
Can you get that second tag too?
Yep. You get 2. If you want to shoot one with your bow and then one with a gun, your second tag will be a 4th season, no matter what. You don't get a choice. Huh. So, like, legitimately, the birds get rest each season. Yeah. Because, second season's the biggest one, or the most number, because that's the first weekend that you can go out, people that can actually go out. First season's 4 days during the week. They don't get a ton of pressure during the first week. Second season's only 5 days, and that takes out probably half of the turkey hunters in Iowa. So, like, their core breeding time, which is, 3 weeks or so, the really hard breeding time, they're only getting minor pressure. They're not getting a ton of pressure.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
So I think that's why Iowa has a unbelievable
you guys have a
population.
Crap load of turkeys over there. You always have.
And in my neck of the woods, you aren't getting an out-of-state tag. It's going to take you like 4 or 5 years to get
right here. I've 7 years I've applied and I've never got one. So,
but I mean, your guys' habitat is set up perfectly for turkeys. You guys got a lot of big trees and you got a lot of egg fields.
Yep.
And creek bottoms and river bottoms and all that kind of stuff. I mean, your habitat it couldn't be better.
No.
For turkeys.
And I can remember when I was a kid on the east side of the state when it was a draw for residents, and like where I lived in eastern Iowa, there was like literally like 15 tags given out. We had to go to the southern tiers down where the birds actually were. That was when I was in high school.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So
changed that much.
Like in 25 years, I think that's how long I meant. Yeah, 25 or whatever it is, 30 years, whatever the hell it is.
Maybe you should have spent another year in high school.
Yeah, you should have taken another math class.
George, it was so long ago. I mean,
tell me about it.
So long ago. My birthday.
We're talking 45 years.
George was outside talking about Pythagorean theorem and shit like that today when he was out there doing measuring his foundations and
lecture
stuff.
Conference all by himself over there.
Whole conversation.
Yeah.
I stopped paying attention to math when letters got involved. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know letters.
That's exactly what he said. He's like, A plus B equals C. Everybody knows that. And he's like, you know what C is? And I was like, no.
4.
7. But
it was the only class I enjoyed.
Yeah. So in 30 years, I mean, look at what the population has done. It's just impressive. It really is.
It's the same thing here too, though. I mean, when I was a kid, there was a couple places in the state that had decent populations of turkeys. Almost nobody hunted them. And I mean, even still, I mean, we were down in some of the best units in North Dakota this weekend. I think we've seen 4 other groups of hunters all weekend.
That all the tags are put out this year.
Yeah, they always are. They never they're always gone every year. Yeah, Wes messed up.
Yeah, I didn't get my second tag.
He just assumed that he'd be able to buy one when he got closer to season, and he was being a cheapskate and didn't want to spend the $15. And
$15, Jesus! What the
hell?
I
learned my lesson. Yep. When them leftovers come out, you jump.
Yep.
I love leftovers.
I do too.
Amen.
Back to food.
To food. That's what this podcast is about.
Yeah.
It's a food podcast with an upland slant. That's really what it is.
That's how we're going to promote it for sure.
That's it. But one of the cool things that happened this weekend, though, first of all, that was the first turkey that I actually called in, which was kind of fun.
Surprising he stood still that long.
I was gonna say how long it had to happen fast. There's no doubt about it.
A minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It was quick.
Long enough for the turkey to walk 80 yards. That's as long as it took.
2.5 minutes.
It only had to walk 65 yards
because he shot him at 15.
Yeah.
So.
If it would have had
2.5 minutes, Tyler's getting up moving.
He would have screwed this bird.
No,
I'm going back to my truck. My shotgun.
My plan was that if it hung up out there at 40 yards. Close enough. He was going to get about another 30 seconds of my calling, and if he decided that's where he was going to stay, that's where he was going to die. Those boss toms will absolutely do it from 40 yards.
Yep.
But I made a couple other stocks this weekend. I was within 15 yards of a group of about 20 of them. They got down in this little cut, big, really super thick trees, and I went down and over. Mike was with me, and I told him, I was like, just sit over there by that little juniper tree and just hang out over there. And I took off. I was gone for an hour and a half, and I didn't go more than a quarter mile because I was down the canyon. I could hear him in that leaf litter, but I couldn't see him. Back up, around, down the canyon, back up, around, down the canyon. Jeez. And the whole time I could hear him, and I could even see, I could see shapes, but I couldn't see if it was a tom or a hen. So I ended up messing around with those things for about an hour. In the time that I'm doing that, apparently nature called. Mike had to take a poop. He's over there hammering one out, and he's, as a good hunter should, he's got his glasses. He's pitched up against a tree, and he's like, holy, there's bighorn sheep right there watching me take a dump. And so we went back over there, upwind a good ways from where he spent some time, and we sat there and watched bighorn sheep for about an hour. Yeah. There was 2 rams and 4 ewes. That's awesome. Pretty neat. That's the first time I've seen them, outside of the national park. Sure. First time I've ever seen them down there. But that's you got to.
Was there a shooter in there?
Yeah,
just in case we draw a tag.
There was a full curl. There was a nice big ram in there, and from where we were sitting, it was shootable. Oh, yeah, 380 yards.
I got my
right
to the West rifle.
Right,
1200 is close enough.
But I'll tell you, one of the cool things about hunting in the Badlands, and you'll get to experience it one of these days, Tim. There's places that I won't shoot a turkey because I don't want to have to climb down into the bottom of a canyon and back out with a turkey.
And I don't think people realize how steep these Badland bluffs are.
They don't.
They're straight up and freaking down. They're just like really Hell's Canyon steep.
Yeah. Yeah. On Saturday, I walked a little bit over 6 miles, and I did 3,600 feet of elevation.
Ooh,
I was a big day. I was pooped.
I was pooped
when we got done, and it was hot, and I was sweaty and everything else. So we went and made a couple other stocks on Saturday night, and I bet we seen 150 turkeys on Saturday night. I mean, they were out every place. Everywhere. And we ran into Nate's cousin, who had his son, who I think was 10 or 11, and he shot a turkey that morning, and his daughter shot a turkey that evening on opening day.
That's awesome.
Pretty neat.
Well, the reason all these kids are so successful is there's no adult that would ever work as hard for themselves as they do a young kid.
Right.
You put the time, you get them locked down, you got them on the roost, and everything is set up. And I mean, I did it once.
That
it's
roost
cool.
business, like when they come off the roost, it's just
it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, they can go 360 degrees. You have no idea. It's a toss up. You're flipping a coin every time you set up on a roost.
Yeah. And some of the stuff I hunt's right on the border of South Dakota and Iowa. You don't know if they're going to go and pitch into South Dakota or if they're going to pitch into Iowa. You just don't know.
Right.
That's why when you're hunting them on the roost, Tim, do you just do a little tree talk and then be quiet?
I do some, and then like right when it's almost time to fly down, I'll get really aggressive.
Do you got a wing and scratch branch? Oh,
nah.
I
don't. I have it.
It helps.
I have it, but I've used it and it didn't really affect anything. And I've used it or I've not used it, and it's about the same for me. Now down in Missouri, where we go down there, absolutely, and an owl hooter is in my vest at all times.
And I can't blow one of them. I cannot make that.
I can do it with I can do it with my voice too. But my old man. So this year, my dad's done. So in 2018 was his last turkey, and I called it in for him on my birthday, which was really freaking cool. And so I've got his call now. So he's got one. You remember those old plastic HS strut push button yelpers?
Yeah, I got one.
Like from early 90s. It's like
I got one.
The old, so that freaking thing has killed so many turkeys.
With the wood peg?
That's what I got.
No wood peg. It's all plastic.
I got the wood peg one.
Okay, so see, you got you got the single. I have the double that are back to back.
Oh,
so you
sure.
can do the fighting purrs
Sure.
on it. And it's a full plastic, and it's kind of got like a pine bark camouflage on it.
It looks like
olive drab and gray and a little bit of black in it.
Yeah. It doesn't have anything on it now.
Yeah.
That thing's so
I
damn
know what
old.
you're talking about. Yep.
So the top of it, where the piece comes across, it's got a groove in it. I'm not shitting you. It's probably that deep. But I vowed, Dad gave it to me because I don't ever want to get rid of it. I've my first 5 turkeys were killed with that thing. So I was like, you know what? This year I'm going to call one in with that call, and I'm going to kill one with that call. So that's what I'm going to do on Friday. Hopefully I get one to come in with that call. I'm not going to use any other ones and see if I can't.
Did you ever have
wrangle
the thing
one
that used to hook your push pull to your shotgun barrel? Had the string so you could just pull it. And
yeah. I think I broke it on the walk out the first day I had
that's
it.
what I did too. My string was gone, and I'm like, what the?
Yeah. Now I just stick to my pot calls and my mouth calls that's pretty much all I use. But I'm gonna kill one with that push button yelper. No doubt about it.
Yeah. The other day, that's the same. I got the little wood one, the little wood dowel one, and it makes fine sounds. And it's the only one that I can actually operate.
I'm gonna chalk yours for you.
Oh yeah, fine. Yeah.
He doesn't know about the chalk.
I mean,
underneath there, you put a little. I got chalk to put on there, and it makes it easier. It makes better sound.
The funny thing is, you can make it sound like you think is the best turkey in the world, but then when there's certain hens that walk by, like that doesn't even sound like a fucking turkey.
No,
the worst sounding turkey is a turkey.
Actual turkey. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day when we were driving around. How hens don't even sound like a hen.
No,
I sound like a hen.
And then all these guys. Do you run a mouth call at all, Tim?
Yep.
I can't.
I can't either.
It gags me. It makes me want to throw up.
No, I've used one of them forever. My buddy Stephen Caulfield out of Georgia, he makes them for me, and they're top. And his pot calls are top notch too.
Yeah, you get but when them guys get to bubble clucking and shit, I'm like, damn, that sounds damn good.
My buddy Nolan, he made it to the big stage down in Nashville 2 years ago, and then he made it this upcoming year. He's going again. He sounds the best I've ever heard a turkey caller, and then he comes up here and he just gets his ass kicked by these turkeys. He's like, I don't fucking understand it. These goddamn things kick my ass all the way across that ridge. I'm like, well, you're only
too good.
You're only the 50th guy to try to call it these turkeys in the last week. I mean, it's public.
And then a week before the season, they're out there with their calls, just trying to get them to gobble.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably try to call. So I got Sam Soholt and Ben O'Brien. Ben O'Brien used to have the Hunting Collective podcast for Meat Eater.
Yep.
They're coming up next week, and we're gonna try to shoot one out of my boat. Actually, we're gonna do some trolling for walleye, and then we're gonna be spotting turkeys from the shore, and then hiking up and trying to get on them. I think they're gonna be up on Monday. The problem I'm having is that I can't find a boat ramp that I can get my boat in right now. The damn lake's so low.
It's all low. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the ice is out, huh?
The ice. So on sun,
you can put in at the bridge, but you're going to have to drive.
Well,
30 miles to get down there
in the boat. That's fine. I mean, I can do that. No problem. But yeah, I don't want to pull my boat down a nasty ass gravel road.
Right. I mean, put in at the bridge.
Right. Yeah. Right. But even that's super low. And so it's like it's past where the concrete's at. Oh, so I'd have to put in either at Van Hook or Partial Bay.
Yeah.
And then run up and then beach the boat and leave it all weekend beached.
No, you don't want to do that.
I know.
No.
So we're trying to figure it out. No. But we're gonna
just drive down there and hunt.
That's probably what's going to end up happening.
Yeah, just hunt off out of the pickup.
But I don't want to.
We used to do. We used to do that very. We used to do that very thing. We did that very thing back home. We would at the reservoir down home. We would take the boat in the morning and go out in the Corps of Engineers ground, and you can slay turkeys out there.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, they're turkeys that guys can't get to.
You know? Right.
Well, you could if you wanted to, you could get there,
Yeah,
but it'd be a hell of a
really
walk.
have to want to.
Yeah, you'd have to want to.
Right.
Then you got to carry that big bastard out. That would suck.
Yeah.
Right. What do you run a turkey vest that you can carry turkeys out in?
Yep. Yeah. I got that Chief Upland. He came out with a turkey vest that it'll fit a big one. It'll 26, 27 pounds. It was no problem. It was nice.
Okay. I got an old camouflage backpack that I carry with it. I got my tags and my knives and extra shells and toilet paper and everything else in there. But I can get a turkey in there. I just gotta really fold them up nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's turkey vest. I think that I know that Final Rise makes one. I just need to get one.
I mean, it really helps. And then you got everything right there too. So it just makes it a lot easier because like me, I've got 2 cameras and 2 tripods, and then I've got, my gun, and it just depends on if we're taking kids. We got blinds, we got chairs,
What are you running for? What is your turkey gun setup?
I just use my Benelli Nova.
The meat stick.
Yep. It works pretty
Boat
good.
paddle.
It works pretty good. I got a Carlson turkey choke on it, and just let her eat.
Is that a 12?
Yeah. I was looking at those 20 gauge single shots, and I just didn't get one. Rob Roberts, I talked to him at Pheasant Fest, and I think I'm going to order one of his guns and have him we're going to trick it out to the 9s.
Yeah.
Just have him order me a gun, trick it out to the 9s, put a nice hollow sight on it, and get after it.
What do you run your little 20 gauge? It's a TriStar semi-auto with a scope?
Yeah, I have a scope on mine. An actual turkey scope has a triangle. Yep. So when his head's in there, he's dead.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you run for a choke? Do you run factory chokes, or do you have a...
I have I think it's a Carlson TSS turkey choke in it.
Yeah,
now.
That's what mine is.
Yeah.
It's TSS. Yeah. I do also have a oh God. I have one for my over-under that the kids shoot. And I can't remember what the hell that choke is. I got it down to NWTF a couple years ago, and that thing is deadly. I mean, freaking deadly. Out a long ways.
I got me a Mueller choke coming for my 28 gauge because I think I might try to shoot one with my 28 this year.
Hell yes.
20. And he's got that special turkey choke that he makes for the Benellis, and I'm going to give it a try.
I shot one with my Project Upland side-by-side last year with my 28 gauge.
Yeah.
Just factory full choke. Killed him stone dead at 30.
Oh, those kids, you know what they shoot them birds with?
A modified, probably.
No, it's a full choke, but a 3-inch Fiocchi
410
golden pheasant.
Oh, 20 gauge.
20 gauge.
I shot a lot of turkeys with just a 2 3/4 5-shot. The federal, whatever the game loads that they used to have all the time.
You get them within 25 yards. That turkey's dead. That turkey's dead.
Yeah.
But I also have that's the thing. I have no desire to shoot one out at like 50, 60 yards. I really don't.
No.
I like it when they're right in my face and you can almost
that last
feel them breathing
gobble
on you.
Makes your ribs rattle, and then you blast them.
I think
so close that you can feel the drumming in your chest. That's
that, and when they spit, your ears want to pop.
Yes.
Remember that's.
I think I've killed 10, 12 turkeys, something like that, and I've never shot one past 30.
Yeah.
I mean, they've all been, and most of them have probably been within 20.
Yeah.
Or closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over half of them have been that close.
Well, the worst part is when you're in the dark and you're setting the decoys up for the kids and you're like, oh God, that looks like it's about 20 yards away. You get in the blind and it's legitimately 10 yards. Like, oh shit.
8 to 10 yards away. You're like, oh, they're way too close.
That's exactly what I said. That's what I said Saturday morning. I'm like, oh fuck. That worked. It worked.
The dark always screws me up on my distance when I'm setting them up.
Well, it does it on crane decoys and duck decoys too.
Yeah. You'll set them up and then you'll get back in your tree where you want to set and you're like, all right, you can just start seeing them. You're like, oh, this, that's right there. It's 15, 20 yards. It's perfect. Sunlight comes, sun breaks and you're like, oh, shit. Them things I could throw a rock and kill one from here.
Yeah. I can almost damn near grab the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that once, me and my brother, when I think I was like must have been first grade. We had pigs and we were feeding, and they'd come in and get in the pig troughs and eat the corn. So it was right before Thanksgiving. Me and my brother had this plan. We were going to catch turkeys for Thanksgiving.
Sure.
So I walking right behind my brother, just right up against him, as he's walking out there with 2 5-gallon buckets of corn, starts pouring it in there, and them turkeys are right by your legs. I just reached down and grabbed one, and it's got me like this and just beating the living shit out of me with the wings. And I finally just yell, I gotta let go. So I let it go. Oh, so the next day we had the plan. We're going to dribble corn into our hog barn. And when the turkey's going there, we're going to slam the door shut.
Oh, shit.
So we dribbled corn in there, and we have skylights in our hog barn.
Whoops.
Needless to say, we were in trouble because there was shit that needed fixed.
Yeah. Turkey went through that skylight.
Like dum-dums, we follow the door into the barn, and it's just turkeys hitting the ceiling at 8 foot, boom, boom. We're just like, son of a bitch, run.
That's so good. That's so good.
Well, that's what happens when you live like in the middle of BFE. Like our closest neighbor was 7 miles as a crow flies.
That's the best place to live. It honestly is. The farther I can get away from people, the older I get, the more that's where I want to be.
Until we moved to eastern South Dakota, my brother and sister were the only kids I had to play with, really, besides my cousins when they'd meet at our grandma's.
Yeah.
And your imaginary friends.
Yeah. Yep. We dug for a lot of dinosaur bones.
And now look at you. Now look what you got for your
same
friends.
thing all over again.
Yeah. I'm doing it again.
History repeats itself. Well, Timmy, good luck down in Missouri this weekend.
Yeah.
Keep us posted on how that goes.
For sure.
It's going to be, we got turkey season right now. Fishing season's here.
It's here.
I mean, like Wes was saying, when I went across the bridge on Sunday coming back home, there was probably a 4 or 5 mile stretch of open water. And Monday, that wind blew 30, 35, and it ate all that ice.
Sweet.
It's open.
It's open. So we got the boat out yesterday, got the graph slapped in it, got the rods all rigged up, got her washed. We're ready to rip. So we got a lot of stuff coming up here in the next couple of weeks.
I love it. Jealous.
Yep. All right. Well,
thanks
boys. Everybody for listening. We've been talking about doing something. Me and Tim are trying to figure out something. We'll announce at a later time and date. But in the meantime, if you guys are so inclined, you want to help the show out directly, please go over to patreon.com/Western Wing Shooter or patreon.com/Prairie Tales Podcast. And you can also support this show by supporting the sponsors and make it possible. With all that said, have a good night, everybody, and we'll talk to you very, very soon.
Take care, Timmy. Good to see you.
See you guys.